Hey, what is it, everyone? It's time for the comic book related video. So obviously in my pull list earlier, talked a little bit about Spider-Man in the MCU. And I want to do a video about it. I don't do a lot of videos recently, so I want to do a top topic video about Spider-Man. So I'm not a massive Spider-Man fan like some people are. Like I'm not like tripping all over myself to get comic books with Spider-Man, and I'm not a big comic book aficionado about Spider-Man. But it's exciting because Marvel's getting Spider-Man back, and we've seen by history that Marvel has good movies. They do good job with their heroes. They do a good job with their properties. And Sony didn't do too good with Spider-Man the last three outgoings. Like Spider-Man 3 was a terrible movie. Amazing Spider-Man TASM 1 was kind of okay, and then Spider-Man TASM 2 was just TASM 2. And they've shuffled, obviously, some of their dates, and the deal is kind of weird. From what I'm reading anyway, I'll put all the links in the description, where I found all this information. Spider-Man is now co-owned, kind of, by Marvel and Sony, where Sony gets all the revenue from their solo Spider-Man movies, and Marvel gets all the revenue from all the movies that Spider-Man is in Marvel, the cinematic universe. So, people are saying they want Miles Morales. And personally, never read Miles Morales comic book. Like I said, I'm not a big Spider-Man guy. But personally, I wouldn't want Miles right away anyway. Like, people's like, oh, well, diversity. And no, who cares? I don't care about diversity. Peter Parker needs to be up in the Avengers. I don't care what anybody says. I want to see Spider-Man bouncing off Tony Stark, bouncing off Iron Man, bouncing off Tony Stark, bouncing off Captain America, bouncing off Thor, bouncing off the Hulk. Like, that's what people want to see. Of course, people do want to see diversity. Miles Morales, from what I hear, is a very, very cool character. But do him down the line after Infinity War. After you do your Spider-Man movies, do one or two movies, or maybe even do a trilogy of Spider-Man movies. Introduce Cloak and Dagger, other Spider-Man people, Venom, Carnage, all of them. Like, there are so many stories you can do in Spider-Man that don't involve Miles Morales till later. Now, they've moved Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Inhumans back a few months, but they haven't moved Infinity War Part 1 and 2. So now we have Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and then Infinity War Part 2, and then Inhumans over here. So they're basically confirming there is a universe continuation after Infinity War Part 2, because there's a movie after Infinity Part 2. And obviously that's great. I believe that's great. They're going to go full steam ahead. They're going to keep going until these movies don't make money anymore, which I don't think they won't make money, because people are clamoring to see them. They're fantastic movies, and they're awesome. Now, we go to who do you want to play Spider-Man? I don't know who I particularly wanted to play Spider-Man. I know they are saying that it's going to be a younger Spider-Man, which I'm glad about, because I never really connected to the older Spider-Man. Like, I liked Spider-Man 2 is definitely the best Spider-Man they've ever created, ever. Spider-Man 1 was good. Spider-Man 2 is one of the best comic movies of all time. Arguably one of the best comic movies of all time. I love Spider-Man 2. And I really like the dynamic between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker, but his one true love is always going to be Mary Jane. But I don't know if they should, because if he's going to be young, they might have to do Gwen Stacy, because when he was young, he was with Gwen Stacy. Or they could just totally X out Gwen Stacy and choose Mary Jane, trying to distance themselves from the TASM franchise, because how terrible it was, and Gwen Stacy was in that. Pardon me when I itch my eye. Now, personally, I want Mary Jane, because I didn't know who Gwen Stacy was until I actually saw TASM. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big Spider-Man guy. So, Is Gwen Stacy a good character? Yeah, she's a great character. She's his first love. But Mary Jane is his true love. Now, when it comes to the larger Marvel universe, this is very good because we get like Jessica Jones, who is actually tied to the Daily Bugle, and we have like Venom, who is in space. Hopefully, we can get the actual symbiote and not just some weird experiment on Earth. And it's actually an alien symbiote that comes from space and attaches to Spider-Man or attaches to Eddie Brock or Flash Thompson. I don't give a shit as long as they do Venom correctly. If there's one character in the Spider-Man universe that I love, is Venom. I don't know why. Can't tell you why. He's evil shit some most of the time, and I love it. So that's what that is. And then we continue on, and you go, well, how do I say this? How much should Spider-Man affect the universe? Like, obviously, he's the mainstay. He's one of the mainstays of the Marvel Universe, but they have a great Marvel Cinematic Universe going on right now, and if you just kind of shove Spider-Man in there and try to tie him into all these different things, could it feel forced and could it be tired real fast? Personally, I don't think they should just smack him everywhere into, like, tie him into, like, someone said, like, have Guardians of the Galaxy do the symbiotes. I don't really think that they should do that. I think they should leave Guardians where they are. Let James Gunn do his thing. Don't force him to put the symbiotes in there. Have the Peter Quill thing with his father and all that good stuff. Now, what Spider-Man should affect is the Netflix stuff. Like, a lot of his gangsters are, like, street level. So, like, you have, like, Hammerhead, Wilson Fisk, who is obviously in Daredevil, the Daily Bugle, like the paper, like Jessica Jones works there, and what's his name, Ben Urich, or Ben something, Urich, or Alec, or Elric, I can't remember. He works with Jessica Jones, and he works with the paper as well, and overall it's a really great thing, but it sucks that they're not going to get Captain Marvel, Black Panther, and Inhumans till later, but if it enriches the universe and it's done well, and we get a cool Spider-Man, I'm totally okay with it. Hopefully Sony has, even though Sony has the creative control, I think that they're just going to be a puppet for Marvel, and they're just trying to save face that Kevin Feige will have a lot of say in what's going on and what the story is, because as we've seen, Sony isn't particularly good at making their stories for Spider-Man, and hopefully, and the last thing I want to talk about is that apparently these spin-off movies are still happening, and that pisses me off. I really hope they die, because those movies were intended to spin off the TASM franchise, and that TASM franchise is dead. It's dead, gone, buried, never talked about it again. And the Sinister Six, I guess you could spin it off the most recent Spider-Man movie. And again, these spin-off movies are not going to be affected by Marvel, so it's almost like it can't be part of the cinematic universe because Marvel has no hand in it, has no say in it, and can't really have that connective tissue between them because they don't have anything to say in it, and Sony can just do whatever the fuck they want and then fucks the universe. So I really hope these are they're just saving face and we're going to still develop them, and then nothing happens. Hopefully, that's my hope. So that's my babble. What do you guys think? Is it a good thing or a bad thing that Spider-Man is in the universe? And who do you think should play Spider-Man? I think if anyone out of the people they're talking about, I think Logan Lerman would be a great pick for Spider-Man. And that's about it. I am the Comic Addict. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Who you should think should direct it, who should act in it, who should Marvel have a lot more control than Sony. And that's about it. I'm the Comic Addict, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.